Okay, let's talk about the United States Constitution and how it was written by the Negroes. Allegedly, of course. Now, there is like a long story before all of this happened, but I'm just going to jump right into the most important part. At the conclusion of the Revolutionary War, most Americans believed that they had won their independence from Great Britain. They were now free to perfect an instrument of a government which would guarantee them and their posterity independence in perpetuity. Now, it says, the result of the Convention of the People of Shem was the Constitution of the United States, a remarkably simple but incredibly comprehensive document. It goes on to say it guaranteed them their independence primarily because it deliberately excluded the Canaanites from participating in their government. You see what I'm saying? The black people was like, hell no, we don't want you around. No. It goes on to say how this document was created and drawn up and made for by the people of Shem. That would be the Negro. It says its provisions were explicitly drawn to be applicable to no one else because it was written as a Shemetic document, which had been drafted to provide for the security of the Shemetic people. Any future alterations or delusions of this original intent of the Constitution would be an anti act. Fill in the blank. Don't play with me, TikTok. The primary purpose of the Constitution of the United States was to protect the free citizens of Shem from any intrusion by the arbitrary, tyrannical Canaanite government agency. Whoo, Lord, I gotta clutch my invisible pearls. It goes on to say, the subsequent gradual erosion of these provisions of the Constitution and its subtle alteration to permit and encourage attacks on the free citizens of the U.S. by a Canaanite centralized government constitutes a most grievous religious assault against the people of Shem. Now here is the trick bag. It says, during the ensuing 200 years, all of the arguments for and against the Constitution as presented in our courts of law, and most particularly the Supreme Court of the United States, have been worthless because they have refused to mention the explicit purpose of the Constitution, the protection of the people of Shem from racial and religious persecution. It goes on to say, many scholars freely admit that the Constitution was written to limit the powers of government and to guarantee the freedoms to the people. But because these discussions never mention the Negroes as the people, the discussions never approach reality. You see how they play in our face, you guys? We create laws and then they give it to everyone else. Or they make amendments to it. Or they just don't mention us at all. Like, those Negroes, who are they? It goes on to say, certainly the Constitution cites certain basic rights, but these rights apply only to the people of Shem. That would be the Negro. And I know you guys hate hearing that, but it's the truth. Now, if you guys like this video and want me to continue sharing on what the Canaanites ended up doing to warp the Constitution and bend into their favor, let me know in the comment section and I'll holler at you in the next video. Don't forget, you guys, this is all misinformation. This is all alleged. Do your own research, just like I did mine. That's how I'm just going to leave it there.